¿Qué tal, amigos de CINEGamers? Y bienvenidos a un nuevo video de The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt con su buen amigo Peter, que hoy estamos en la expansión de Blood and Wine, nuestro segundo episodio. Muchas gracias por la gente que le está dejando ese poderosísimo like, que está comentando, que me está diciendo qué les pareció la expansión en su momento. Si tú todavía no lo haces y lo quieres hacer ahorita, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pensaste cuando viste los colores que vamos a ver? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pensaste cuando viste ese primer monstruo que nos recibe? Todo me gustaría que me lo dijeras aquí en la caja de comentarios, sin importar qué tan viejo sea este video. A mí me llegan y quiero leerte, en serio, me interesa mucho saber qué pensabas, o si es tu primera vez, qué es lo que estás pensando cuando ves esto, porque estoy casi seguro que nadie se esperaba esto, ni se lo está esperando. Incluso a 7 años de que salió el juego sigue siendo hermoso e increíble lo que aquí nos muestran. Rápidamente solo les pido, bueno, les voy a pedir disculpas dos veces. Una es que ayer ya no pude subir el video, tuve algunos problemas de ruido aquí en la casa que no pude solucionar hasta ya muy tarde, y ya no podía grabar esta parte y otras cosillas que tenía que corregir. Este también es una misión, sí, es una misión que cuando la acabas, acaba justamente con una cinemática. En la cinemática te aparece el grito clásico del juego cuando acabas la misión, y automáticamente empieza otra cinemática que desemboca en la siguiente misión, por lo cual se corta de trancazo el video cuando se acaba esa misión, esa cinemática, y se acaba muy emocionante. Desde ahí, pues bueno, es por culpa de la misión, no es culpa mía ni de la capturadora, simplemente yo decidí ahí cortarle. Pero bueno, dicho todo esto, ahora sí, vamos a darle. Uy.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine. Exactly how I remembered it.
Si pudieran verme la cara con la sonrisa que tengo ahorita.
You would find Beauclair has changed some these past years.
Walk about when you have the chance. You will see for yourself.
To me, place always seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Knights errant, elven palaces.
You insinuate that we are somehow odd? I shall prove you wrong. This I pledge on the Heron.
Que hasta cambian la paleta de colores cuando llegamos aquí. Uf. Aquí se recargan las pociones automáticamente, porque en teoría bajamos varios días y el juego te lo acepta. Eso está muy padre. Miren, si me pongo la build de las pociones de bebrajes y demás, este dude me dura 3 espadazos y lo mato. Sin embargo, aquí hay un logro trofeo que además es secreto, que se llama, creo que, David contra Goliat, el cual tengo un video aparte en la parte de tips y trucos, donde también están los logros y trofeos del juego. Y bueno, aquí me tengo que mover un poco. Y miren, ya lo maté. Aquí es tratar de darle en la cara, en ese huequito que tiene en el casco, y le bajas la vida de un chingadazo, y así te bota el logro trofeo. De todas maneras lo explico mejor en el otro video, porque ya hasta lo hago en cámara lenta.
Neither is love born of wisdom, Witcher. So, Guillaume, out with it. Which fair damsel inspired you to vow to kill that filth?
The most beautiful among them.
If he wishes to guard her name a secret, he need not reveal it.
You I do not know, sir, nor seem you a knight, yet still I am profoundly grateful, nay, indebted to you for your succor. This trophy, sir, is yours.
A giant this close to human settlements? Strange.
Well, that was no ordinary giant. His name was Goliath, rumored to have been a knight once, but one who broke his vows. For this, the Lady of the Lake transformed him into a wild giant and banished him into the Gorgon Hills.
So he came back down? Why?
Several times each year, hunger chased him into the lowlands. Goliath had killed and devoured many shepherds. Guillaume's hunt served a noble cause. At any rate, it's a tale for more agreeable environs.
I'll take the trophy. Why not? Could find someone who'll pay to buy it. Put up a good fight against the giant. Got experience battling monsters?
None. In Toussaint, we mostly chase bandits. But I vowed I'd bring my heart's champion the head of a monstrosity, as the famed Gottfried, known as the Giant Killer, did.
You don't mean to hunt the beast, I hope. The matter's best left to Geralt.
Another challenge awaits me. Yet if Geralt is to hunt the beast, he ought to know. It struck again. The river surrendered a corpse. It washed up in the meander by the cockatrice. Damien de la Tour's guardsmen are there already, securing the area.
Securing the area? Better go there now before they trample any tracks, manhandle any evidence.
Set forth, then. I shall ride for the city to inform her gracious magnificence that Geralt has arrived. We'll meet later, near Guillaume's tent at the tourney grounds. I shall take you then to see her grace.
Aquí vale mucho la pena farmear a este hombre, porque miren lo que tenemos aquí. En modo superior, hacia allá al tope y rojito, de los que más trabajo cuestan encontrar. Nos subimos acá. Y ahorita se van a poner a platicar.
Guillaume is his kin.
Can't get used to the way you knights talk, especially how you switch back and forth between flowery and, well, near normal.
We are knights errant, in the service of her gracious magnificence. When we appear in her name or speak on her behalf, we are bound by tradition.
Come on now.
No one here. They must have removed the body already.
Let's look around. Make sure they didn't miss anything. Hobnailed boots. Multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Walked along the shoreline.
Perhaps the body lay on the bank.
Ahorita me puse esto porque aquí van a salir nuevos monstruos. Y si tienen... Si la primera vez los pueden matar por una cosa muy sencilla, y es que estos estallan. Por ejemplo, acá... bueno, estalló. No pude mover la cámara a tiempo. ¡Híjoles! ¡Ah! Ese casi me mata. Ese fue el problema del control, O sea, yo sí me estaba tratando de terminar de hacer la secuencia de giros. Pero siguió haciéndola, entonces no me pude echar para atrás a tiempo. Curiosamente no estallan a tal grado que si están cerca los otros, los mate. Como nos pasa con otras criaturas que están en la base del juego. Pero bueno, ya con esto ya podemos investigar. Como siempre, siempre les digo. Siempre agarren todo lo que puedan de estos monstruos, porque luego... Ah, miren, ahí había un mutágeno verde. Ok.
Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything. Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
A wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it. the rut. Guardsmen left this site by boat recently, probably to transport the body somewhere.
Y ahora que ya hicimos esos tres, hay que... Digo, pueden encontrar uno, se les activa que tienen que venir acá. Si se quieren venir para acá lo pueden hacer, pero luego van a tener que regresar aquí otra vez y terminar de encontrar las pistas que ya les mostré. El orden no altera el producto en el orden que lo quieran hacer, pero se tiene que hacer. Tenemos que encontrar, creo que como una mano, y está como en este tipo de rejas de debajo del agua. Entonces, bueno, en el otro había un remo. Bueno, era un pedazo de carne.
Monogrammed DLC. A noble's accessory, clearly. Be nice to know where they took the corpse.
Que los colores, cómo se ve el agua aquí. Tan cristalina.
What now?
This isn't the site of the murder. We know that. Current brought the body here. Corpse got caught in the nets. Guardsmen pulled it out, put it in a boat and took it somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Seems we've got ourselves an audience.
You think this surprising? The locals will tell the children of children they do not have yet, of the day a quartered corpse was pulled from the river.
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water. Monogrammed DLC. Mean anything to you?
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions, no matter the odds, fighting his foes to the bitter end.
Foes? You have a lot of them?
He did, but I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a raw nerve. Memories of a time long past, to which I'd rather not return now.
I understand. We can talk later. Let's go to the tavern.
I shall have to leave you soon. Return to court.
Barely got back to Toussaint.
A knight in the service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty. Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time.
Puedes ir a tu velocidad, o si ya sabes a dónde ir, puedes dejarlo ahí, que vaya trotando y pues tú te vas a la puerta del bar y pasa la escena. Cualquiera de las dos cosas las puedes hacer. Creo que más o menos por acá se activa otra conversación, pero eso sí no me acuerdo muy bien. Les comento que por cierto esta expansión tiene un huevo de referencias a tanto Bauticio de Fuego, que es el quinto libro, como el siguiente, que ahorita se me fue su nombre, discúlpenme. Pero de esos dos libros, el quinto y el sexto de Andrzej Polanski, así vomita referencias a esta expansión.
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac-Peyran. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being no crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited two men to join us, yet since Sir de Peyrac-Peyran in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir de Peyrac-Peyran.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchering trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask Geralt, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Must have been early in the morning. Went to check your nets and then...
I stepped out of my hut and saw...
By my troth, to the point, man. You found a body ensnared in your crayfish nets. We know this already. What happened then? Did you see anyone nearby? Did you spy anything noteworthy? Anything at all?
Not a soul around, just me. As for noteworthy... well...
What did you see? But be warned, if I hear the sky was red again...
I saw a head bobbing, eyes bulging, the tongue blue and popped out. Next to it, a hand rocking upon the water.
Get a good look at the body parts?
They gave me such a fright. I bolted to town fast as my legs would take me, then returned with guardsmen who told me to keep out of their way. They had a hard haul. The parts were so tangled up in my nets, they were forced to cut them.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corvo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Russell's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Linnis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Russell's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
It is no secret the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it, in fact. Russell now bunks with his brother in Vicofaro.
I told Russell he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one throw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
So folk think the beast's divine punishment.
Knights have turned their backs on the old customs. Where they were defenders of the duchy, they're now defenders of their own tushes.
Why, you insolent...
Let him talk.
The Duchess trades in titles, grants honors to ill-doers. We've strayed from the path of virtue, lost the gods' favor, so the gods sent retribution.
Don't listen to that nonsense, Geralt. It's rehashed street preacher Codswell.
Yes, the rebel rousers have been sprouting up like weeds lately, each offering the same bill of goods.
They say anything else about the beast? Besides it being a messenger of the gods?
The Toussaintois are no fools. They see clearly the beast kills on days honoring patron saints.
Picky monster. Thanks for the hospitality. Time I examined the corpse.
Corvo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the tourney grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort? Ha! Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Venice. I'm to play the hare during this year's game in the Palace Gardens. When you see me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Bien, pues aquí tendremos Ahí está un tablón en donde van a agarrar muchas misiones secundarias que ya agarraremos y haremos en los próximos días, semanas. Y aquí está el mapa, para que se den una idea. Es una nueva región que no existía antes. Es imposible llegar a ella si no tienen la expansión de Blood and Wine. En la primera vuelta deberían ser nivel 38 aproximadamente, 38 o 40 para poder hacerlo. Sé que siempre está el inteligente que dice que siendo nivel 21 o nivel 10, más o menos nivel 21 es cuando ya te desbloquean como que la misión venirse para acá. Por una les va a costar, sin importar en la dificultad en lo que estén jugando, fácil, normal, difícil, o sea, les va a costar un super huevo porque ustedes son nivel 21 y estos es más arriba de nivel 40. Y bueno, además del mapa es gigantesco. Y por otro lado, se van a joder el juego, por dos razones. Una de ellas es que este es el final del juego y si juegan primero esto, es como si me dijeran, ¿sabes qué? Estoy viendo la trilogía del Señor de los Anillos y empecé la primera hora de la comunidad y de repente se me dio la regalada gana de ver la última media hora del Retorno del Rey. Y es así, felicidades, te acabas de joder toda la película, bueno, toda la saga. O de Harry Potter, que es otra saga muy famosa, de decir, bueno, pues ya me eché la primera hora de Harry Potter, ahora me voy a echar la última hora de la última película de la parte 2 y también joderte toda la saga. Entonces, por un lado no hagan eso y por otro lado también, o sea, aquí sí van a recibir mucha experiencia, pero al mismo tiempo van a perder experiencia, porque si aquí se chetan, luego cuando hagan misiones que tengan que hacer, los va a castigar el juego. Y luego van a estar llorando en los grupos y me van a estar preguntando y van a estar diciendo, pero ¿por qué es que me están dando cacahuetes de experiencia? Si antes me estaban dando 800 por misión y ahora me están dando un punto que hice mal. Y es que te jodiste el juego. Esa es la respuesta más sencilla. Me encanta la escena, pero la voy a tener que pagar sin poder monetizar este video. Y ahí está por la cual no voy a poder monetizar este video. Es una lamia, amigos. Las lamias son una versión de vampiros. Entonces, a partir de aquí, en esta expansión, aunque tuviera todavía una espada mejor y el equipo todavía aún mejor del que tengo, aún así sí voy a empezar a utilizar agresivamente los aceites. Porque hasta ahorita solo había estado utilizando pociones, pero no me ponía aceites. Ahora sí me voy a poner aceites. Entonces el aceite morado es el aceite de los vampiros. Ken, para protegerte por cualquier cosa que te golpee. Fuego. Fuego, aceite de vampiros. Y eso me lo sé porque pues, en esta expansión peleas con tantos vampiros que ya es de cajón que siempre sepas que vas a estar haciendo fuego. Para, por ejemplo, si se hacen invisibles que aparezcan o que al menos aparezca una silueta de ellos. No. O sea, no lo puedo esquivar. El problema de que si no le esquivas es justamente de... O sea, el grito de estas lamias, porque esta no va a ser la única. Es que entonces te atontan. Y luego no las veo. O sea, yo la estoy buscando. Generalmente se pone literalmente atrás de ti. No me está yendo bien en esta pelea. Tampoco me está yendo extremadamente mal, pero podría hacerlo muy fácil y no me está saliendo tan fácil como yo quería. Recuerden que gracias a las pociones que tengo estamos cargando súper rápido la barra para las señales. La estamos hiper cargando. Mira, ahí me hubiera matado, pero gracias a la vida que traigo tenía como que una vida extra. Esto no lo había tenido que necesitar en un rato, pero es que sí, como está de chapulín colorado esta mujer, y de repente no la veo y entonces no puedo esquivar su golpe porque no sé dónde está. Hay veces que sí veo cuando se hace invisible y aunque no parezca, sí se ve. Entonces la puedes esquivar o le tiras fuego así en la cara cuando se te lanza y ya se vuelve a hacer otra vez visible. Pero en esta sí no me fue tan bien. Ya la vencimos. Ya apareció en el grimorio de las bestias. Y bueno, al menos me dio uno de estos. Que sí necesito ponerme a formar bien duro. Mutágenos. Vamos a verlo todo.
Something in the throat. A pouch bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian florins from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient thinking beast. Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. Third hand. A spare? Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing? Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something. So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess.
Bueno. Otro muertito para tener que analizar esto un poquito más a fondo. Nos salimos y ahora tenemos que ir al torneo, que también está así aquí súper cerca, entonces no le veo mucho corte. De eso que les acabo de decir, amigos, es tan común que metan la pata que voy a hacer un video así como escribiendo 3 errores muy comunes que cometen los jugadores al jugar The Witcher con expansiones. Algo así le voy a poner. No estamos tan lejos, es más o menos por acá. La verdad es que no vale la pena que les haga corte porque es extremadamente cerca. Lo que sí voy a hacer es ponerme una horita de descanso para recuperarme de pociones y demás. Creo que todavía tengo 2 de 99 de comida, entonces no creo que tenga que irme a farmear cerditos. Sí, vamos a hacer lo que les dije de la meditación. Por ejemplo, si por alguna razón se pusieron a explorar y vienen aquí de noche y vienen a hablar con el caballero que te vamos a hablar, les dice, sabes que tenemos que esperarnos a que amanezca. Porque esto, todo lo que tiene que pasar ahorita sí tiene que ser de día.
Ah, a professional. I like to trade with your kind. You actually
Uf.
appreciate quality workmanship.
What have you got there?
Vamos a curarnos. Casi todos los herreros de esta expansión pueden hacerte las armaduras. Entonces, miren cuánto tiene este duto. O sea, tenía casi 9500 y a veces tiene más de 10000. Nunca los dejen vacíos, porque si los dejan vacíos, les toma un huevo de tiempo volver a recuperar su dinero. Pero si los dejan en 1500, como en una semana dentro del juego, ya vuelven a tener 4000, 6000, a veces hasta 8000, dependiendo de tu suerte. Pero te digo, ya prácticamente todos los herreros de esta expansión pueden hacerte las armaduras hasta un nivel antes de Gran Maestro. Casi todos te las pueden hacer. Voy a aprovechar ya que estamos por aquí. Y aquí tenemos el viaje rápido. Está aquí arribita. Y este viaje rápido lo utilizo muchísimo porque este es como que el barbero con el que casi siempre vengo cuando juego esta expansión para que me haga el trabajito. Entonces que nos quite la barba. Una vez, creo que fue cuando jugué, lo platiné en PlayStation 4. Esto lo hacía tan rápido así, porque no tenía que grabar nada ni hacer nada. Y era así, que en una de las tantas veces que me cortaba la barba, me apareció un bug de Ubisoft de Assassin's Creed. Era el 4, cuando es en Francia. Y ese famoso meme que hay de cómo se le ve la cara al personaje. Así se le puso la cara a Geralt. Y era así de, ¿what? E incluso lo publiqué en algunos grupos y la gente me decía, es fake, ¿verdad? Y yo así de, no. Ok, vamos a hablar con él.
All right, you scamps. Story's done. Go find your parents.
But the Palmerine, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
They're tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmerin's story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, you can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As you will soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shalmar? With only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
Shouldn't torment the beast. How would you like to be dumped in an arena, blindfolded with a string of bells dangling from your ass?
Pity a monster. You, a witcher?
I slay monsters who are a threat to humans. You're out to humiliate one to entertain a crowd. No knight will gain any glory from this. Who's going to fight the beast?
Guillaume, the young man you met.
Yeah. Mentioned he'd promised his heart's capture a monster trophy.
Great love demands great sacrifices.
Let's go.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
Got a bad feeling about this. Damn it. We have to help him.
Este enemigo sí está súper fácil. Pero bueno, ya saben, nos vamos a poner pociones, aceite. Este como es un nuevo enemigo, te preguntarás cómo es que voy a saber cómo vencerlo. Y es el aceite que se necesita. Pero bueno, el mismo juego, ahorita cuando yo me salga, que me pude haber esperado un poco, te aparece, ha aparecido en el bestiario esta nueva criatura, entonces te pones a buscarle, pues ya ves que ese es el aceite que necesitas. Lo único que tienes que hacer es, una, esquivar justamente esto. Son 3 golpes que da. Y 2, aléjate de él para que él haga esta voltereta. Si la haces bien, o sea, si estás a la distancia suficiente, él toma como que tanto impulso que se pega con la pared. Y cuando se pega con la pared se queda boca arriba y entonces ahí no se protege. Ahí está, entonces aquí es ya simplemente la vieja confiable. Y ya le bajamos casi toda la vida. Repetimos exactamente la misma acción. Les ponemos que por cualquier cosa. Ahí va otra vez los 3 ataques. 1, 2, 3. Como se acerca hay mucho, creo que no voy a poder. A ver. Miren, ahí sí tuve suerte. Y ya está. Así se vence. No lo maten, por el amor de Dios. No lo maten. Si quieren a Iron Date, no lo maten. Ahorita nos va a dar la opción de si lo matamos o no. No lo maten.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
Monster's no threat. No need to kill it.
A victor may always show mercy. It is his right. Long live Geralt the Merciful! Pikeman, see to the beast.
Guillaume?
The lad came damned close to dying.
I'm fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly paints you. She approaches.
Geralt. We must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace. Shale Mars are dangerous creatures, even to knights in full plate armor.
Nonsense. In Toussaint, knights have battled beasts for mere glory since time immemorial. True. Guillaume suffered a few bumps, scars, and bruises, but in return gained eternal glory as he who slew the monster.
What about the crowd? Say the Shale Mar had vaulted into the stands. Would have been a massacre.
Geralt, though we value your fortuitous intervention in the arena, we would remind you your services have been retained, and as shall soon become clear, you will be generously compensated for completing another task altogether.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally, but not here. We shall need Damien. He let the investigation pending your arrival. But whatever could he be? Come, we must find him. Tell us, have you come alone? Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see the lion, Your Grace?
Yes. No. Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the death sentence we so justly handed down upon him. If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered. Ah, the very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour, captain of my personal guard.
Your Grace. Witcher.
Greetings. Sorry to have to tell you, but the guardsman handling the last victim's body...
I know already. The creature in the cellar of Corvo Bianco. Was it the beast?
No. A bruxa, a kind of vampire. Not the beast, but tied to it in some way.
You know this how?
Through careful analysis of the evidence, both on the riverbank and at Corvo Bianco.
Do you mean to insinuate the investigation thus far has been sloppy?
Geralt insinuates nothing of the sort. We must listen to him attentively.
I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. And maybe the help of an alchemist or a mage. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir de la Tour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help. I've no doubt about it.
Damien, we settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since you have broached it nonetheless, let us discuss Geralt's pay. Are the legends true? do witchers usually demand? That which you find at home, yet did not expect.
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic. On the other hand, on returning to the palace, we would likely find impatient petitioners or a set of sample fabrics for a new dress. Poor rewards, both. I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus, we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and a sum of coin. You will doubtless consider this adequate. Title to the vineyard shall be given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will be yours only once you have slain the beast.
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. But Corvo Bianco, isn't it the Duchy's temporary morgue?
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Not to be left unsupervised for one instant. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present minimal problems to a witcher. What's more, nothing enhances a wine's reputation better than a grim legend.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course. But as I said before, I'll need some information. How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespi was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not. Once you've taken the oath of a knight, you remain a knight till death.
How'd he die? Where'd they find the body?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later. On his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not a weapon. Blows of great force.
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning someone posed it.
So it seems.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse was found in one such place. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequently, news of the second victim came to us from a group of concerned cut-purses.
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility that Ramon died at the hands of these bandits.
Do you believe me an amateur? Not hands, but claws killed Ramon Dulac. The wound was deep, clean.
His body was found in the gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac, a knight who but a dozen years past was an advisor to our father, the Duke.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous. Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but no one ever came forth with concrete proof of any misdoings.
So, first two victims were knights, best years behind them.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times knights face new challenges, enterprise being the latest addition to the chivalric virtues.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir de la Stinchi.
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times, hailing from different provinces of the Empire.
Delacroix loved coin, true, but had no patience for numismatics.
Lots of similarities between the victims. All the bodies were found in strange places under extraordinary circumstances. Seems the murderer, whoever or whatever it is, has some meaning to convey.
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect with which they were treated. These were Knights of Toussaint. Blast it.
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues. And even if the
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Five virtues. Why are they so important to your knights?
Strange question.
Your Grace, forgive me. I'm a foreigner trying to understand another land's customs.
You are forgiven. According to legend, the virtues we cultivate were bestowed upon us by the Lady of the Lake. How we truly came to espouse them, none remember. In Toussaint, we believe men of low birth should be simple-hearted and obedient. We expect much more, however, of our knights. They are to be soldiers and courtiers, lords and servants. Thus, the need for clear moral guidelines. At the time of his dubbing, a knight vows to demonstrate throughout his life honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to emphasize their lack of specific chivalric virtues.
Honor compromised by the pillory. Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit true, though not perfectly.
Can't discount the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the fourth virtue, valor. We can also assume that victim will be an elder knight.
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens. Our annual hare hunt shall begin there shortly. Have you heard of the custom?
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Not sure why. Hang on. Strange circumstances. A knight advanced in years. The famed cowardice of rabbits.
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so down by the river.
Damien! To miss something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, Delacroix, and Delac formed a knightly team. It was years ago, but...
They were a team?
They were close friends, tightly knit, and as such earned the trust of our father, the Duke. We often witnessed him turn to them with delicate matters. Later, their paths diverged.
Unlikely to be a coincidence. Beast must know it too. It's a lead, I'm sure. Your Grace, we need to find Milton, immediately.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden entertainments are due to start, and he's disguised as the hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The hare's hiding place is a carefully guarded secret.
We must call off the game, at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm. Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities. Panic will only incite the beast to strike sooner. And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my night, I shall take the fall. A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace. Horses? Ready our horses! Your Grace!
El Gerald. Más o menos como para una dama de alta calibre y en Toussaint. Es como si estuviera en tanga ahorita esa mujer. Por eso es que se le quedan viendo así de, oh Dios mío, cuánta ropa, o cuánta poca ropa tiene puesta.
to me!
Bien, ahí hice un corte y vamos a seguirla.
Go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg. With these in hand, they can deduce where the hare, Nivel, hides.
Mean we need to find those things too?
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules. And second thought, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish, while I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
Okay.
How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. Turns around, over there, look.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, it's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other phoenix egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.
Ok. Pues vamos primero por el unicornio. Y usaremos Axia.
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really wish to have this conversation again? Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try this.
Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
Come on, stay calm. Shh, calm down. Easy now.
Well, that's hardly fair.
Flagrant cheating is what it is. Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, I didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all. We must try to grab the next clue.
Gardens are huge. You'd be better off on horseback.
Entirely inappropriate behavior. A complete collapse of social.
Bien. Ahorita cuando resolvamos la siguiente misión, no, ahorita vamos a ir por el pez. Bueno, vamos por el pez. El pez, si no me falla la memoria, está muy cerca de un bote, pero pueden agarrarlo a los demás hasta que les salga.
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavenly coursed of trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
A key.
Why, you bomb-botched wretch!
He's ruined the game!
Disgraceful.
As fable holds, the golden fish has wishes. What do you suggest I request? Will I catch her? The light is positively useless. She can't possibly see the thing. What? Who says?
Y ahora sí, ya estamos cerca del final, amigos. Entonces aquí vamos a resolver esto. Y ya está. Esto aquí ya no voy a poder decir mucho, amigos. Muchas gracias por haber visto el video y disfruten este final.
We act out of the highest necessity. All shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules. Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
And I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a groan, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse, with a head of hard cheese.
Let's see. Groan. With ease gives us green, right? And mouse with the head of hard cheese. Greenhouse?
You're a genius. Several greenhouses in the gardens, indeed, but only one locks, the key to which looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse it is then. Let's go.